Jordan faces two critical challenges. One is an energy and one is a water challenge. On the water situation, Jordan is the fourth now poorest country in water per capita availability. We are probably one of the most pressing water situations on a global level. It's basically a survival issue for the country. So mega projects that are dealing with solving and providing a long-term secure water source for the country, and then reforming the entire water supply, demand management, pricing system is very critical for the future of Jordan. So there are specific mega projects and reform that are attached in the water sector to deliver on that. One of our biggest projects, the DC water conveyance system for $1 billion, was financially closed in the year 2009. On the energy side, we're importing 96% of our energy needs. If you recall, in 2008, when the oil prices hit very high rates, the import bill for Jordan reached about over 20% of total GDP as a ratio. That's something that's extremely disruptive to a long-term developmental path for a country. We've made a very strategic decision then that we need to diversify our energy needs to reduce our dependence on foreign imports for energy from 96%. We're trying to reach maybe 60% by 2020, and beyond that, try to also reduce that more. So we wanted to increase renewable energy inputs from 1% to about 10%. We've discovered some gas fields in the eastern part of Jordan. There's been a concession that has been awarded to BP. So that should also increase the availability of natural gas, to supply our electricity program. We wanted also to develop electricity using nuclear power.
What about uranium? Will you be able to enrich? Will you be able to reprocess?
We're going to leverage our uranium deposits. Jordan has aggressively now signed a very detailed mining agreement and long-term concession with Areva to mine the central part of Jordan in terms of uranium. Jordan has over 10 countries that we've signed nuclear cooperation agreements with, leading countries in the OECD and globally. We adopted a path to develop our nuclear program in a way that it's a model globally and for the region. And Jordan is probably the highest signatory to all the IAEA conventions. We're following all the best practice models, looking at the US experiences, EU, Japan, and leading countries in the world that have developed their programs. We're making good progress on finalizing the nuclear cooperation agreement with the United States.
What about the National Railways projects to connect Aqaba to Syria and beyond? How far have you got with that?
It's proceeding quite well, actually. Jordan is also within its mega project mix. It's looking at deepening its positioning as an important regional logistical hub. That is a trade gateway, and that sits at the heart of the Levant region, connecting the GCC with the Levant, and beyond that to the European side, as well as to Central Asia through Turkey. Our program calls for building 1,000 kilometers of rail. The Syrian program is now about 100 kilometers away from our border. The Saudis are also very close to our border. So Jordan is a critical building block in creating this new trade corridor.
Well, going back to the hub idea, how much better placed is Syria than you are to be a hub in the region?
Actually, on the contrary, I think we all complement each other. Syria's access to the GCC has to go through Jordan, and our access to Turkey and beyond has to go through Syria. So in essence, we're all complementary building blocks helping each other create this networking. It's important to point out that Jordan has been very visionary and probably one of the leaders in the region in integrating infrastructure within the Arab world. We have right now been the first to lead connecting the electricity grids of the region. Egypt is connected with Jordan, and we're connected with Syria and Lebanon, and beyond that to Turkey. In gas, Egypt is providing gas to Jordan, and the gas pipeline goes through Jordan then to supply gas to Syria and Lebanon, and beyond that to Turkey. So you can clearly start to see Jordan's positioning as a hub point in infrastructure, where we're connecting neighboring countries through this hub. which I think is going to be very critical to create integration economically within the region, interdependence. I think it will add to the factors to increase stability in the region, because when there's codependency, there's a more potential to minimize chances of conflicts in the region.